What is your opinion on John Banks's opinion of super lean lambdas, anything zero point 0.9 plus on pump fuel or zero point 0.9 plus on ethanol after a full pull? You've commented about EGTs being low enough to handle those lambdas, but don't you think he would already have thought of that with his experience in tuning? Okay, so
I mean, we can't really speak to what he's thought of or hasn't. So that's
well, I'm going to say a little bit about John Banks. I know John Banks. We've been on good terms, and but his name has been coming up more because he has kind of been wading into these conversations as an outside independent person who doesn't have any skin in the game, and he's been able to talk in a way that appears to be very free and honest and unbiased. So, and John has been commenting on us, so I'm just going to make a little comment about John. Again, no hard feelings, John, if you see this. Um, I have a lot of respect for John Banks. He's been in the industry for a long time, just as we have. He's been tuning cars for a long time, just as we have. I don't think John Banks has any more experience than we do when it comes to tuning and calibrating these cars, or a I don't believe that he's more capable than we are, but I do have a lot of respect for him, and I believe that any kind of tuner calibration that he would come out and offer to this market would be a good one, and I wouldn't have any reason to believe that it would damage anyone's engine or be problematic in that way.
right.
And in the same way, I hope that he's extending us, the same courtesy. And John has actually been honest about one thing that um, John is associated with Dyno Spectrum, and they have a product DS1, which is a type of tuning product for Volkswagen Audi vehicles. And John came out recently and said that he has been talking very freely and giving his opinions about other people's tunes and calibrations, because this is a very difficult market with high expectations for power and performance. Clearly, reliability is a concern as well. And so they are going to enter the B9 S4 market with their DS1 tuning products, but they will only offer their flasher with a base file that would have to be finished, calibrated fully.
He said no canned files at all. So I think
Yeah.
it's going to be just you can flash a stock or modified file, but you got to do all the mods.
It's basically a base file.
It's the stock file would be the base file. Yeah.
Yeah. And my point is that they will not offer a tuned calibration file like we are, like IE is, like other companies do, because they're basically too afraid to wade into this market. So I think what he's doing, I think part of what he's doing is well intentioned. I think again, I said he's a very smart guy with great technical expertise. But he's also coming in and attempting to be disruptive. So this is kind of like you know your two friends are having a birthday party, and one of the people that got invited you don't really like, and so you kind of are down the streets as people are heading to the party saying, yeah, I don't know, you may not want to go to this party. I heard the food's not that good, or just kind of casting doubts and dispersions from the outside, and being like, well, I'm not even going to the party. I don't know, but I heard it's not going to be that fun. You probably shouldn't go. And it's kind of what John is doing, and he's kind of setting himself up to enter the market. And right now, everybody is buying, and the vast 99.9% of customers are enjoying their tunes and calibrations that they've gotten from us. But if John can go in there and make 20-30% of those people be like, well, maybe I do need a custom tuned file. Maybe these canned off the shelf files aren't that great. Maybe I do need to pay a Dyno Spectrum tuner to retune my car, which is their whole business model. Is they sell these tuners and flashers to shops, and then you go to the shop and that shop tunes your car using their Dyno Spectrum product. So I'm John's not going to go out and say everything that I just said, but as an industry insider, an expert, and a veteran, I know what he's doing, and that's why he's doing it. So I think if you do read what he says, I would, again, I don't think he's going to say anything blatantly, egregiously wrong, but just know that what he's saying is particularly tinted with this kind of low key shade at us, which is ultimately he's opening a spot in the market for Dynamo Spectrum products to exist in a market that they currently are completely outside of and have no opportunity in. But if he can convince 10-15% of the market to be like, maybe we do need a custom tuned file, maybe 034 doesn't know what they're doing, then now he's got a business hold. And that's why he's doing this. I mean, he's spending a lot of time and energy coming in this, and it's not just out of the goodness of his own heart. I think. I mean, I don't think he's over in Ford Raptor groups, reading their logs.
Right.
And guess what? They have no Ford Raptor product coming out soon. So what I'm saying is true. And again, John, I love you, but you've been talking about us, and I'm talking about you, and I'm just, I just call it like I see it. So. When it comes to substantively, let's talk about these lambdas. 0.9 is not super lean. The factory vehicles now, even GT3 RSs that are making insane specific outputs that were never even thought possible. Almost all factory cars are running a 1.0 lambda under wide open throttle. There are times where they will enrich again, for safety and things like that. But it is true, if you have very cold EGTs or cool EGTs, you can run a different lambda than when the motor is very hot and the combustion chamber is more volatile. So the extra fuel doesn't necessarily lend itself to the combustion event, but it brings the temperature down, and a richer, more more fuel in the combustion chamber will bring the temps down and make the combustion event more stable and like help things like pre-detonation. But it's more wasteful because you're not burning all the fuel, and environmentally it gets released as pollution through the tailpipe. So there's a reason why the factories and OEMs are targeting 1.0. On race cars, you could target a 0.7 if you want, but at some point it does get to be too rich. You make less power, and then there's so much raw fuel in the combustion chamber that it actually can damage the engine. So
there's certainly extremes either way.
We have gone back on a lot of the tune, like our stage 3 tunes, on the 810 tune, and we did richen things up. We were very upfront about that, but we're just simply not seeing motors blowing up from being too lean or running too lean. And a lot of these logs that do look leaner, it could be a cooler pull. The ECU is not just running always a set lambda under wide open throttle. There's a lot of inputs that go in to determining, what the ultimate air-fuel ratio is under various load conditions.
And a lot of this too, like we just need to make sure you guys, if there's a question, if you think there's something you want addressed or something validated, just send us your log. Like I've seen a number of guys like, I haven't sent anything to 034, but what do you think about this? Like, well,
that's been frustrating.
If you want help, if you want us to let you know what, whether the calibration is performing as it should be, or there's, everything looks within spec. We're the ones that are setting the spec up, so let us see it, and we'll certainly help, advise on it.
But the other part of the question is, yes, EGTs are part of one of the inputs that the ECU uses to determine the lambda. Wouldn't John have thought of that?
Of course.
Well, of course he's thought of it, but you take a log or a screenshot of a log, and again with this incentive to kind of throw shade at us to make opportunity for him, it's kind of an easy message. The EGT conversation is a more nuanced one, and it's harder for most customers to understand. The current thinking that I see is that customers think that everything needs to be 0.8 or 0.85 lambda all the time, every time you mash the throttle. And that's not necessary, that's not accurate or true. So he's able to benefit by some of this, lack of knowledge or lack of understanding of the true complexity. So, anyways, if you have any further questions about that, please let us know. As Nate said, you don't need John Banks to review your files.
Yeah,
we are here.
We have a free and open service.
And we are actually much more concerned about the safety of your motor than John Banks.
Yes.
Right? You are our customer. You've paid us money. And, we have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that you and your car are safe. So there's no case where you would send us a log and it's a not safe running condition and we're going to say it's okay. We are we are here. So, I mean, go ahead and ask John Banks his opinion. You can ask, it's a free country, right? You can ask anyone you want about anything,
Well,
but
we said
don't not ask us.
right, and there's still a reason. We're giving you the tools to get all this information out that you can do what you want with it.
Mhm.
So I mean, there's no cloak and dagger or we are as open as any other calibrator out there that I've ever seen. So yeah, I mean, if you've got a question or concern, we're here for you, and we've given you the tools, and we're happy to help you.
And there's a comment that John has been telling people to reach out to 034 and telling people to ask for our opinion, which is wonderful. Thank you, John, for that. So, that's all we can ask for. We are here, ready and willing to assist any customers. We are by no means not available, but like I said, we care about your engine more than anybody if you're our customer.